Tina and Ron Meier are Megan's parents. Mr. and Mrs. Meier, good morning to both of you, and our condolences to you.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's been almost a year since Megan's death, and now you're coming forward to speak out about this. Why come forward now?
Well, we had, after Megan had passed away, it was about 5 weeks until we found out that it was not just the boy, it was actually a family. We had hired attorneys, and then the attorneys had suggested that we keep it quiet. The FBI did an investigation, and they'd suggested we keep it quiet also. During that investigation, obviously we were hopeful that something was going to be done criminally, and that took a while. Once everything was exhausted on that side, and they came to us and said, listen, there's nothing that we can do. It doesn't fit into any law. We just were devastated. And from that point, just kind of needed to take a little bit of a break.
I'll go back into some of the details in a second, Mr. Meier, but does it seem as if you've exhausted any legal remedy for this? I mean, we heard about possibly a new federal law that covers harassment online. Is this situation, does this not fall under that law?
We're hopeful for that. We're still continuing on with the fight on the criminal and on the civil side as of right now, as we speak.
You two are parents who, as we heard in the piece, did from time to time monitor Megan's communications online. So can you explain to other parents who are watching how this might have gotten out of hand, how this may have developed so quickly?
Well, it wasn't even time to time. I mean, it was monitored highly. Megan was not allowed to get online. We had the password. Megan couldn't even sign on without us. We had to be in the room. So this was highly monitored. The only thing that we can suggest is that parents just take a closer look at what their kids are doing, and kids take a step and look at what they're doing also. I mean, it is very scary. I mean, we were fighting against adults.
Well, Mrs. Meier, let me go back to that. If you were monitoring her communications then, as you say, on a daily basis, what were you saying to her when she first started to communicate with this young man, Josh, that she thought was just a nice guy expressing interest in her? Did you warn her about getting her hopes up, or that she might be let down by this young man she'd never met?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was always the talk of, Megan, come on, we don't even know this person, let's not get too excited. And she would say, oh, Mom, you don't understand, And, so I did talk to her daily about that. But, again, children at this age, they don't think that.
And there's something, Mr. Meier, that somewhat haunts me as I read the script here and read the information, that when it comes right down to it, Megan died never knowing that this young man didn't exist.
Absolutely. Yes, she still believes that it was Josh Evans. I mean, as we said, we didn't find that out till about 6 weeks later, that it was the parents down the street from our house.
So what would you say? Well, two questions real quickly. Have you had any contact, any conversations with the parents, the neighbors who were behind this? What have they said? Have they offered apologies, anything like that?
They've absolutely offered no apologies. They've sent us a letter in the mail, basically saying that they might feel a little bit of responsibility, but they don't feel no guilt or remorse or anything for what they did.
And Mrs. Meier, what?
I ran into her.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I ran into her this past week after the story ran in the local paper, and she asked me to stop doing all of this. And I told her that we would not stop, that we were going to continue for justice for Megan, because they knew what they did.
So is there one piece of advice you can offer to other parents?
I feel to continue to monitor your children, take that extra step, ask the questions, look at their computers, see what they're doing, and for kids to please take those extra steps and don't trust anybody online that you do not know is your true friend.
Tina and Ron Meier. Mr. and Mrs. Meier, again, our condolences, and we thank you for sharing your story and Megan's story with us this morning.
Thank you.
You.